Why did the motorcycle stop running? Because he was too tired. Okay, I'm sorry, that one was pretty bad. Hey guys, Octane Restorations, and we are back with the 1988 GL1500 Goldwing. So, what's on the docket today? We're going to remove the front tire, get it up on the lift, and then we are also going to take the old rubber off of it to get it ready to replace. I do just want to give you a warning right now. Me changing the tire with this Amazon tire machine, it is not pretty. A lot of struggling involved. Normally I just take my tires and get them mounted and balanced for, 50 bucks is the rate in my area. But I'm just showing you how old these tires are. This one was made in the 14th week of 2010, so this tire's, 12 going on 13 years old. As you can see, it is dry rotted. Man, it looks terrible. So I want this to be a daily driver, and I also kind of want to live just a little bit longer. So to preserve my life, we're going to replace both of these tires. There's that little cover that you got to remove. There's a piece that pops out that exposes a 10mm little screw, those 10 or 8mm, and then you just take 3 of them off, and that little plastic cover covering the wheel comes off. And again, there's a little plastic cover on both sides, but right here I'm loosening that front axle nut, bolt, whatever you want to call it. I have it's a 22mm socket, and I have a 22mm, but my 22mm is a 12 point, and I would rather use a 6 point on these just because of the torque. So a 22 is pretty close to 7/8. So a 7/8 SAE is what I'm using in place of a 22mm. And I am using a breaker bar. You want to do it with your motorcycle on the ground. Whenever you start loosening these, you don't want to go to twist and apply some torque and take your motorcycle off the stand. So, with it on the ground, either side or center stand, it really doesn't matter. I just have it on the side stand right now. There are 2 bolts on the other side that kind of clamp this rod that keeps your front wheel on. Right there. You're going to want to loosen those after you break open that bolt right there. So those hold the rod in place. If you loosen those and then you try to turn the rod over, like you try to loosen the rod with the breaker bar, it's just going to spin. So keep those tight. Using a flat blade screwdriver and gentle hammering action to get it all the way through. Remember, this is threaded sides, so be very careful. Use as big of a screwdriver as you can. And then I'm just lifting up the motorcycle slowly, just a little bit at a time, to get that wheel fully out. My calipers weren't suspended right there. They are, like I did end up suspending them. Don't leave them hanging. I know I did it right here. Looking back on it now, I did mess up, but don't leave your calipers hanging like that. Put a zip tie in there or bolt or something like that. But we got it out. That's the easy part, I hate to say. But again, this is old rubber. We're going to replace the rubber, replace the valve. Then we're also going to mount and balance a new tire. Also going to throw in some new brake pads. These brake pads don't look bad, but before I already got all this, disassembled and everything, why not? This is my Amazon motorcycle tire machine. This is its maiden voyage. Very first time using it. I really just wanted to use it with the tools it provided me, which ended up being impossible, but I was trying to keep the initial use just what comes with the set, I'm going to do a review video on it, which is why. But as you can see, just using the tools it provides me, it is near impossible. Also, I made a little wooden platform for it to stand on. It's made to be bolted into the concrete, but I just don't have a place in my shop that I would like to permanently mount it to yet. But like I was saying, I'm just using tire spoons and that little bar that they give me for this video, plus some Windex, non-dish soap in a bottle. Turkeys wanted to say hi. So I was being careful to watch the rims. You know, you can leave really big scratches in your rims if you're not careful. So you can use a piece of plastic, piece of cardboard, something to put in between. And as you see in the second video on the rear tire, that's what I did. And the rear tire also used clamps. I used a multitude of things. I used actual tire mounting lubricator. The whole 9 yards. So, I know this front tire is going to be pretty rough to watch, but the rear tire it's way better. I don't know if you can tell how stiff this old tire was. Golly. This thing been on there. It was pretty miserable. I'm not gonna lie. But we got it off right there. Life is good. Right here, I'm just flipping it to get a better angle. So instead of bringing it up, I'm just going to pry it down, trying to preserve the rim. Just little bites at the time. I'm sure some of y'all watching these videos have changed many motorcycle tires with your irons. And I've done it with dirt bikes, you know, smaller motorcycles like 250s, 450s. But man, cruiser tires, holy cow. I don't know what it is about them, but they just... If I lived near a shop that would do it for 25 bucks, I would take every single tire ever. Just because of the amount of time that it takes. Eventually I'm going to get me an automatic tire machine. It's going to be real cool. Amazon has them for like 1,500 bucks. But we're just working, going from one to the other, till we get this stupid thing off. So, we got it out. The easy part's over. While we're here, we're also going to replace the valve on it. Got these 90-degree ones off eBay. They're actually pretty reasonably priced. Whenever I used this one to install it, I didn't have a tool, so I had to use pliers. But I ended up getting a tool off eBay that the actual valve screws into, where it's threaded, kind of like where you put the cap on. And man, it made this job so much easier. But, well, that's this video. You know, next video is going to be mounting the other tire, balancing it. So, stay tuned for all that. And again, thank you for watching. This is Octane Restorations, and you have a good rest of your day.